So you're feeling called to start a passive income business, whether that is an Etsy shop or drop shipping or starting a new product business or creating an online course. I want you to hold that thought and watch this video first. So here's the truth. Yes, I run a 6-figure passive income business. There's no such thing as passive income. But if I had attempted to start one when I was 21 with no experience, it would have been disastrous, time-consuming, frustrating, hella expensive. So in this video, let's talk about the 2 reasons why that is and what I recommend you do instead if you're 21 and you're feeling called to live that laptop freedom, do whatever, whenever lifestyle. Now, here's my quick disclaimer before we dive in. I don't want to dissuade you or anyone from starting a business. I think starting a business is one of the best things I've done in my life, but it would not have been if I had done it at 21. And the truth is, I think way too many people are setting you up with false expectations of like 10K in passive income in 30 days, or you'll make dumb money, drive a fat Lamborghini in 3 weeks if you start drop shipping today. And of course, when you aren't able to make 10K in 30 days, it's your fault. You didn't hustle hard enough. You did something wrong. And I think that expectation that, those types of people create is extremely unfair. And obviously it's very biased because they're trying to sell you something. So my opinion, my 2 cents, again, for the people in the back, this is my opinion. If you have no experience, if you have 0 clue what you want to do, but you know you want to work from a laptop and have the freedom to live the life that you want, whatever that looks like for you, do not start a passive income business. And here are the 2 reasons why. Starting a passive income business is really hard. It is confusing, it's lonely, it can be really risky depending on the business model you go for. It is a roller coaster. And people that want to sell you on starting a business, whether that is dropshipping, making an online course, starting on Etsy, etc., they will always try to make it look easier than it is because they have a financial incentive to convince you that it's easy. It's not. If it were easy, everyone would be a trillionaire making those annoying "a day in my life of a trillionaire" TikTok videos. Second reason, initial startup costs to start a passive income business can be quite high. Yes, with the internet, it is much cheaper now than ever before, but it will still cost money if you have physical products or if you have to deal with shipping, if you need to hire a team to fulfill or handle customer support, if you need to pay for tools or softwares, website hosting, Canva subscription for whatever reason, costs add up, and that's all before you make $1 back. When I started my online course passive income business, it took several $1,000s of upfront initial investment before I ever saw any of that investment come back. And I had no idea if it would, even though I validated my course thoroughly. And when you start a passive income business, like with any other business, there's no clear roadmap. Nobody gives you a step 1, step 2, step 3. There's just what you think you should do at any given time, trusting your instincts and doing your research. And if you have 0 experience, chances are your instincts aren't sharpened yet, and you might end up making a lot of mistakes. And mistakes can be very expensive, very frustrating. I would have made tons of mistakes if I had started at 21. I still make mistakes now, even after 5-6 years of work experience. So if you're asking, what should I do then? I'm 21, I want to live that cush, do whatever, whenever lifestyle, good cue. What you should do instead is freelance. At 21, instead of starting a passive income business, I started freelancing instead. I did that for a few years, and both me, my wallet, my mental health are so glad that I did. Here are 6 reasons why you should freelance instead of starting a passive income business if you have 0 experience. And no, I don't have a freelance product to sell you or an idea for one either. So I have no financial incentive to convince you. I only have a passion incentive to convince you. Sorry, that was cheesy. Reason number 1, this is one of the biggest points, and I have to say, I think that's why my course business did 6 figures in its first year. It's because as a freelancer, I was learning for free from 40 plus freelance clients in different industries, different business models, different team setups, different types of funnels, different ways of acquiring customers, and I saw exactly what not to do and exactly what to do if I were ever to start my own business. And this is priceless. Like, as a freelancer, you have the backstage pass to these businesses, how they run, how they work, all things you can then put in your back pocket for your own future business. So go work for the types of businesses you want to start. You will learn more in 6 months than you ever could, ever, from an online course. I've also had clients pay thousands of dollars for me to take courses and trainings as well. Those skill sets that you develop and gain and get from clients, they're yours. forever. Nobody can take that away from you. Here are some examples of things that I had negative 49 clue about when I was 21 that I learned as a freelancer. Just a few things. Product validation, offer creation, organic and paid traffic sources, messaging, conversion copywriting, what good conversion optimized design looks like, buyer psychology, value ladders, what KPIs to track, which are important, on and on and on and on. So I learned everything from the beginning stages of even just having an idea and how to make sure that idea will work as a product and be profitable, all the way to creating the product, shipping the product, fulfilling the product, and ensuring that people are actually happy, and on the back end making more and more revenue off of those customers. And yes, I could have started a business and learned those things on my own on the go of the business, but it would have taken much longer. It would have cost a ton of my own money. It is such a privilege to get paid to learn. So I highly recommend that strategy. Reason 2 is that it's just easier to start as a freelancer. The barrier is so much lower than starting a passive income business. Anyone can start freelancing even with zero experience. I had zero relevant work experience. To be totally transparent, I did have a degree, but it was not relevant to what I wanted to do online. So I had zero relevant work experience when I started freelancing. I just sold my time essentially to entrepreneurs and small business owners that had no time because they were too busy. I did what they didn't have time to do. The third reason, you really don't need a lot to get started with freelancing, and you can give it a go with very little investment or personal risk whatsoever. I started freelancing with just my laptop. I did not pay for any tools or products or trainings or softwares to begin because I didn't have the money to invest in anything when I started, so that's totally fine. Reason 4, okay, I have to tell you that my life as a business owner, though seemingly organized, is chaotic. And that's true for most business owners. Most business owners don't know what they should be doing at all times of day. We don't know if what we're doing is correct. Most days is just throwing like spaghetti carbonara on my walls to see what sticks. And it's not really like that as a freelancer. And truly, like, I sometimes secretly, between you and me, friends, miss freelancing for that reason. As a freelancer, I just had my to-do list. I knew exactly what I needed to get done and mark it off my list. I miss you, Clarity. I'm being so called back to freelancing right now. Like, I am so tempted to start taking freelance clients just for the fun of it. Reason 5, it's so much easier to make a steady income, in my opinion. I know people think freelancing is volatile, but if you think freelancing is volatile, being a business owner is 100 times more volatile. As a freelancer, you need fewer customers, and in my opinion, it's easier to convince a handful of clients of your value when you are offering freelance services, aka you can start making money faster as a freelancer. If you start a product business, let's do some math. You sell a $50 product. You need 50 customers a month to make $2,500 a month. That means you need to convince 50 people that your product is good, that it's unique, that it will help them solve some type of problem that's really aching for them. If you sell a 1K product, you will need to do serious heavy lifting to convince people of your credibility and authority in selling this passive income product up front. As a freelancer, you don't have to do that as much. You can just sell your time to someone or your soft skills or your expertise. But as a freelancer, there are things you can easily put in place to make your income not fluctuate as much as I'm pretty sure you're picturing right now. You can put in monthly retainers, build in notice periods, make sure your service is for an ongoing need for the business, make sure you're targeting businesses that actually can afford you on an ongoing basis. I have a whole video on how to de-risk freelancing, by the way, that I'll list below. All right, here's a bonus lesson for staying till the end of the video. A huge one for me as well, and I didn't realize this until much later. I wasn't doing this actively or on purpose as a freelancer, but if you freelance, you'll naturally build a network of people. Clients, potential clients, other freelancers, team members you work with, your clients' clients. You'll build a network of really cool business owners that potentially can help you build your business later on. Working for somebody as a freelancer, like I did as a freelance digital business manager, can be so intimate and generate so much trust, and I built really strong relationships with my clients, and I credit a lot of those relationships with setting me up for success with my own business as well. So again, this is one gal's opinion. What do you think? Let me know. I want to have a chat. And since you're here anyway, might as well. Here are X ways to land your first freelance clients. If you're like, this is interesting, Dea, say more. Say more, Dea. Right here. It's going away. All right. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.